You're going to watch this video and ask yourself, why the hell is nobody else on crypto YouTube who covers price analysis? Why is nobody else covering this? I'm about to show you something that is a combination of extremely simple, very precise, and pretty damn macro. It's a big deal. And look behind me, right here is Ethereum price without Ethereum price on. The white line is the daily 10 exponential moving average. The red line is the weekly 10 exponential moving average. What do you see? If you're not in a bull market, so the white went below the red here in a bull market, it actually ended up bouncing. But when you're not in a bull market, or if you think you're in a bull market and you see it cross, what happens? The bull market's over. But when it crosses, it's precise and it's macro. It gets a big move. Again, not in a bull market, it crosses, huge move. It got the whole rest of the whole bear market. And then when Bitcoin around here bottomed out around $3,200 and Bitcoin screamed up to 14K, Ethereum went up too, but then this crossed again, massive macro move. Coronavirus, macro move. This cross didn't like get it because the price probably went down faster, but because that was a black swan event. But when the white starts bouncing on this, what do you think you can say to yourself? Oh, shit. The bear market is probably over because we just got to bounce and we just made a new local high. The bear market might be over. But if we go back to this chart and start looking at this cross here, big move. And if I zoom in here, what do you think we're going to see? It's getting ready to cross. It just barely crossed to the upside. The white barely peeked its head across the red line. And so to identify whether or not Ethereum, as we zoom in here on the very small time frames, 5 minute, 15 minute, I'll just pick a time frame that's really small and we're going to look at it. It's going to be easy for you to put these two on your chart on any time frame. Right now I'm on the daily chart and I have on the weekly 10 EMA. Use the MTF EMA indicator, MTF EMA. And you can be on the 5 minute chart and look at them because you're going to want to do that because right now it's getting smashed. And it's going to be easy for you for anybody to throw these on and identify, hey, is this cross bad going to be avoided? Because to the upside, it's just obvious. It avoids it or not. It stays on top of the 10. And as the white comes down, can price get above the white or not? Because if price can't get above the white, this shit is going to drop hard. Just like it did every other time and not in a bull market. It's going to drop real hard. So it's going to be easy to identify that. Is price above the white? Can price get above the white line? But to the downside, we have our work cut out for us on how the hell low is this going to go? How macro of a move is this going to be? And you can see, I mean, when I made myself invisible here, so invisibility cloak, Harry Potter, here we go. It gets huge freaking moves. So we have a lot of work cut out for us to say, okay, how far is this going to go if we don't see price get above the white line? Are you ready? Let's get some Ethereum. All right, here are those same lines. Same lines. And I honestly can delete all of these support levels. I know price isn't on because why do you think I can safely delete those support levels of more immediate price action? Why? Because if this crosses back down, none of those are going to freaking matter. Like maybe if you're doing some really small term time frame trading, like trading on the 1 minute and 3 minute charts, okay, yeah, it's going to make a difference. But in price analysis, it's just going to fly right through. So let's zoom way in here. The red line is the weekly 10 EMA. The white line is the daily 10 EMA. And I am on the 15-minute chart here. And look at how close we are. Remember being zoomed out? How big of a freaking deal this is? Look at what is about ready to happen. Look at this crap. Take this off. It is getting real close. So I don't have to really give much of analysis for, is this going to, what price is going to look like if it avoids it? Because it's simply price needs to get above the white line and bounce on it. And then it needs to do enough work so that this white line then starts getting a positive slope. That's it. And price needs to bounce on it. If price gets above this white line, and it gets too hot without bouncing on it and goes all the way up to this origin line. See this origin line here? It goes back to the origin of price of Ethereum, way back when it started. That's why it's called an origin line. If Ethereum could get all the way up to 1835 in this potential rally, which hasn't really taken off yet, it's a potential rally. It's on the verge, but we'll see. If price flies above this white line without bouncing on it, guess what? It's just going to come back down and smash through it, and this white line's going to cross. So what you need to see to the upside, very basically, is two things. Price needs to get above the white line and use it as support long enough for this white line here to curl up and do like, an almost like imagine this is a plane and this is the ground, right? And the plane gets really close to touching the ground, but then it's able to pull up, right? That's what it's going to look like. But you need both two things, bounces of price on this white line, and you need that to happen long enough for this to get a positive slope. And then at that point, Ethereum might be safe from another leg down of capitulation. And for showing you something that no one else is covering that's this easy and it's this obvious and it's clearly what's in play, that's why you hit the like button. For returning viewers and new viewers, that's why you subscribe and hit that bell and make sure you hit all alerts, because I'm going to break shit down for you in ways that you're not going to see elsewhere, and it's going to make sense, and it's going to help you. I make mistakes, yeah, but typically when I'm wrong, I'm recently in the habit of showing you, if I'm wrong, this is what price will do. And here, I'm not making a guess. It's either going to get above it or it's not, right? And so getting above it, this is the healthy way it's going to do. So I just showed you two ways it can get above it. One is healthy, one is not. It could fly up without using that support, hit this origin line way up at the price target of roughly 1840 or so. And if you see that happen without using this white line as support, it's probably going to bash right down through it. The healthy way, the second way it could go up is what I've already covered, right? So I'm not guessing up or down. I'm showing you. It's a big deal. It's super simple. It's super macro. And there aren't many ways this could play out. Either it crosses or it doesn't, right? Okay, so there are two ways it can play out to the upside. To the downside, I mean, it's going to be obvious. The white crosses the red, and price cannot stay on top of this white line. I mean, there are a lot of ways this could happen. I mean, hell, we could have 2 weeks of sideways, right? So I'm not going to give you squiggly lines guessing how this will cross down. Our work is cut out for us on this is how the hell low is this going to go? And if we zoom out one more time, and I can take off these EMAs, and we can appreciate, again, this is also why you like, returning viewers, this is why you hit the thumbs up, and new folks, this is why you subscribe, is because this chart, you're not going to see Ethereum price broken down like this anywhere else. These lines work. Look, even coronavirus. This origin line was hit perfectly. It went up from an origin line to an origin line before it then went 1, 2, 3, 4 origin lines down. It literally just pinballs between and among these lines, with some exceptions, very few exceptions, because almost every time it goes above, it's just a slight failure pattern, which is kind of normal. But yeah, these lines essentially dictate price. When it falls, it's going to fall to one of these lines. Can you see this? Look, here, let me put a pin in some of these falls. Watch. Even something like this, like look at this wick down over here. Let me zoom way in there. Even weird wicks like this one. What did it go to? This freaking origin line. Where did this drop go down to? The origin line, right? Here, this big drop down. Where did it go to? An origin line. Where did it pump up to? An origin line. Can you see this? I mean, obviously, if you have at least one eye, you can see it. All right, and so our work, and the reason I'm breaking this down is because if it's going to be a macro large move, where do you think it's going to go? It's going to hit one of these. So all we have to do is guess which one it's going to hit. That's it. That's all you got to do. Literally. And that's why you keep coming back to my channel, watch my videos, because I mean, this is exactly what this is what will happen. When it drops, if we get the cross down, it will end up not getting a true solid bounce, like a midterm time frame bounce until it hits one of these lines, and the bounce will happen from one of these lines. It will. I mean, as I just showed. I mean, hell, this recent move down. Where did it go to? a freaking origin line. I didn't put this line here after. I mean, look at this. Look. Way zoomed in, like exaggeratingly. So this price point, I mean, it's almost to the dollar sometimes. Watch. Look, it's almost to the dollar. Told you I'm really zoomed in. All right, so this is going to help us make an educated guess because we know the parameters of the way price is going to move. Now, all we have to do is guess which the hell won. So if we end up seeing white go below red, wrong one, Tim. White go below red, do you think it will stop at this origin line? Frickin' probably not. Do you think it'll stop at this origin line? Why or why not? I would say no. Why do you think now, could it get some type of bounce off there, a playable bounce? Maybe, but it's not going to charge up from there. Why would it not end up stopping completely here? Because takeoff price, this cross gets macro moves, which means this low in price from a horizontal standpoint is going to be easily taken out. It's going to go below because it's a macro move, right? Every time it crossed down, it made new lows by a mile. So this low, this horizontal has to be taken out, which means even the next origin line down, this can't be the one it's going to stop at either because it's going to be a macro move that easily takes out this low. So we're looking at down here or down here. And let's put it, are you following this logic? Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? This is going to be a freaking big move. And I think it's way more obvious on Ethereum than Bitcoin. Like how big, like this is why I've been talking about if we get a mini rally, make sure you're tethering up. You could do something spectacular with your portfolio, and I'm not freaking kidding. This is going to be big if it crosses. So we can logically, using simple logic and backtesting, not this one, not this one, not this one, but maybe this one or this one. Now we're getting hot. Let's put a pin in it. Boom. Let's see actually how the average slope of moves down. Let's take a couple of them. So the cross happened here, and let's just take a fractal on average. How fast does it go down? Let's go. So it doesn't go down a whole lot faster than that because the timing of it makes a difference. Something like that. So it might not fall much faster than this pace right here, which means because if it goes down too fast, then look at the price difference. Watch. If it hits it in like 5 days, that's 687. But if it takes time to get there, that's $860, right? So let's say it roughly takes between that long and, I'm copying too many, this long. So let's actually say maybe it gets there faster. Let's say if it gets there real fast, this first line is around $800 to $900. Let's just call it $800 to $900. And you see what I'm doing there? I'm writing it on this origin line because if it takes longer on the time axis, so this is time, right? Like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. If the longer it takes on this time axis, the higher up this will go and the lower the fall will be. Okay. All right. So you have $100 range roughly, $800 to $900 for one option. The second option is around, let's call it $675 to $750. And if it goes down another origin line, which could happen, folks, it doesn't have to be one of those. It does not have to be one of those. Let's do another origin line down. You're looking at 540 to 617. But if this happens faster than this guy, all right, let's say it probably won't happen a whole lot faster than that, but this could really, really keep going. And if it hits the next one down, you're looking at the 400s. So Now what we can say is, okay, out of these 4 options, maybe the middle 2 are more probable. So these 4 price targets for the result of this cross might be the most reasonable. Maybe the top 2, but that's still pretty cutting it close to price because this is a macro move. So now we can start getting an idea of roughly bottom paths, and it really just depends on how long it takes to get there. This can be big. Click this video if you want to see how to play this potential move up and do something possibly spectacular or just a solid play with your crypto portfolio on spot trading, not on futures or margin. Click this video right here if you want to see the mechanics of why and when and how long this big crash is going to happen from a Bitcoin perspective. You just got Timified friggin' worldwide. Peace.